Alright, first and foremost, we give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Kakorash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Grand Millstone who rule well and who is worthy to be counted for double honors, and peace and salutations to brothers out there pushing this truth wholeheartedly and sincerely and for the love of the gospel. Alright, it's the brother Gabari from the Indiana camp, come back at you again with another sit down to basically talk about we should all be muscle fibers in this truth. Alright, now when I say we should be muscle fibers, is what's one thing that a muscle fiber does in the workout industry. Every workout, every person, every bodybuilder, every person that works out knows that muscle fibers does what? They grow the more stress you put on them. They grow, they grow thicker and they go stronger the more you break them down and you rebuild them. All right. Now, what's the breaking down process? What's the process you're gonna get down where you become more stronger? Growing in the truth, basically. The more hell that you catch, the more chastisement the Lord puts you through. That's when the breaking down. It's like, hold on, let me cut this TV down a little bit. All right, it's like about that. I had to cut the TV down a little bit. I couldn't focus. But yeah, what's the breaking down process? When you working out, if you're doing a biceps, like, exit the site. If you're doing a bicep curl and you keep constantly doing a bicep curl, your muscles that's in your bicep is becoming more sore and sore, and it's breaking down. It's becoming micro tears into your muscle. So if this is your muscle, you're having little tears that's going throughout your muscle, so you're not going to be able to see it unless you stretch it out. So if you're constantly stretching it out, tearing it up, and your muscles look like this after a workout, after so long, your muscles are going to reform back, and then they're going to become solid again, and it's going to become even more stronger. So if you do that same workout with the same exact, it's not going to hurt as much, and it's not going to be basically your muscles adapted to it. All right. So that's how we should be in this truth, man. The same things, we shouldn't be going off on the same things we fell out. We fell out a year ago, 6 months ago, even a couple weeks ago. If a brother rebuked you on this thing, he shouldn't have to constantly keep rebuking you on the same exact thing over and over and over again. If a brother's rebuking you for getting a lining, and then a year from now you still getting a lining, matter of fact, it shouldn't even go past that. If a month from now, 2 months from now to go, and you still get a lining, then you become an insubordinate, man. All right, then that's what the Lord's gonna have to deal with you. Okay. Because you shouldn't still have to constantly get reprimanded, or you have to still getting constantly cussed out about the same exact thing, man. So you have to be muscle fibers in this thing. Muscle fibers don't go back to its weaker state. If you've been lifting for a year, your muscles is not gonna go back. Oh, well, you know what? I'm gonna just go back to lifting 100 pounds, and I'm still, I'm just not gonna grow no more. I can't lift 100 pounds. No, your muscles. If you're lifting 100 pounds for a year, guess what? By next year, you should lift 200 pounds or even 300 pounds. Your muscles are not gonna how can I say get all that thickness and get all them and go through all that stress just for you only able to pick up 100 pounds. No, it's going through all that stress so it can grow and become more, man. All right, it's not just gonna stay as stagnant 1%, or you're only gonna be able to take a limit. It's gonna constantly keep going, man, until 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you're not the same person you was that long ago, man. And also, it's like the body, man. If you're a little child's not gonna stay a little child for 15, 20 years. No, he's gonna eventually get taller. He's gonna grow more hair. He's gonna grow more length. He's gonna get bigger. His muscles are gonna get bigger. A 1-year-old pick up a cardboard box will kind of struggle a little bit, versus a 5-year-old. A 5-year-old will pick up a cardboard box like nothing. And then a 10-year-old can pick a cardboard box with something in it, versus a 20-year-old that probably can pick up several cardboard boxes. So your body is going to constantly keep growing as much more as you get into this truth, and that's how we should be. We shouldn't keep doing the same thing repetitively over and over and over. All right. And with that, I'm gonna go ahead and get the scriptures because I feel like I'm rambling on now. This is Ezekiel chapter 47, and I'm gonna start from 3. It says, "And when a man that had the line in his hand went forth eastward, he measured 1,000 cubits, and he brought me unto the waters. The waters were into the ankles," and this waters represent the truth, man. All right, and he said the waters was at the ankles, man. Okay, now notice that it was at the ankles. He said again, he measured 1,000. He measured 1,000 and brought me to the waters, and the waters were to the knees. It says, again he measured 1,000 and brought me through, and the waters was to the loins. And after he measured 1,000, and it was a river that could not pass over, for the waters was risen, waters to swim in, a river that could not be passed over. See, so that's the truth constantly being increased in you more and more and more and more. You know, first it's gonna be to your ankles, then to your knees, then to your loins, then it's gonna be all over you, man. All right, and that's how this truth is out here, man. At first, when the elder apostles came out, man, it was only on YouTube, and only a few brothers knew about it. Now look at it 10 years from now, man. They started on YouTube around 2007. So over 10 years, 2007, 18, so 12 years, man. Look at these 12 years, man. Israel's been known out, man. You could type in Israel on Facebook or any social media, you'll see thousands of pages. Just even J-Brews that people have been knowing that they're Israelites, man. All right. This water has literally completely flooded the earth, man. And guess what? It's gonna constantly keep flooding until the Lord comes back, man. All right. So when the elder, and that's the same thing. You should be in this truth, man. All right. When the when you first get into this truth, man, it's gonna basically gradually grow in you, man. All right. You only gonna know a few things. It's gonna be to your ankles. Then when you know more, it's gonna be to your knees. And then when you know more, it's gonna be to your loins. And then when look at it. However long it gets you, but guess what? It's gonna overflow you, and you're just gonna know everything, man. Not know everything. Well, eventually, yes, you will know everything, but it's gonna overflow you where you're just scriptures just gonna pop it all up in your head day to day, man. Breakdowns gonna come to you. You gonna know different Hebrew prayers, man. Different sit downs is just gonna hit your mind all the time, man. Basically, your whole entire body is gonna overwhelm with water. All right, you're gonna constantly keep flowing over and over. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get this scripture right here. Some Proverbs. Some brothers know where I'm probably going. This is Proverbs chapter 11, verse 25. It says, "The liberal soul shall be made fat, and he that watereth shall be watered also himself." See, he that watereth also, because we're also out here not only just building up ourselves, we're also watering the elect, man. We're being pastors. You know, the Lord shall give his elect pastors that shall feed preachers. He shall give us, basically the word preacher comes from the word pastor, but he should give us pastor that feed us with knowledge and understanding. You know, the Lord is actually making us be waterers and making us be that food for these people, man, so they can come and eat. And we're also watering them, but while we're also feeding them, we're also feeding ourselves, man. Also, how are we feeding ourselves? By these sit downs, by us going on highways and byways. You know, we're getting stronger and stronger, man. Being the muscle fibers, man, being more thicker and thicker. You know, that's how muscle grows, man. That's how everything goes. It goes through a constant state of stress, and by it goes through that stress, it grows more and more to that it adjusts basically. Let me get this. This is in the book of Sirach. Because it's for our betterment, man. This is Sirach chapter 2 and verse 1. It says, "My son, if thou shalt come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest increase at the last end. Whomsoever is brought before the knees cheerfully, be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversities. Believe in him, and he will help thee, and order thy ways upright, and trust in him. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside, lest thou fall." It says, "Ye shall fear the Lord, believe in him, and your reward shall not fail." See, so you should constantly believe in the Lord, man. Don't think the Lord is forgetting you because you go through hell. Just because you go through this trials and tribulations, don't think the Lord, oh man, the Lord is cursing me more than he's blessing me. That big trials and tribulation is one big blessing. You just gotta see it, man. All right. Yeah, your woman might have left you. Yeah, your kids might not do what you say. They might not want to believe in Yahweh Shem Yahshua as much as you do. Yeah, your wife might probably giving you hell. Your family giving you hell. Your family don't want you around. Yeah, your job is talking about, oh, you got to come in 7 days out of the week for a month. You know, gonna have you tired when you get home. You know, but guess what, man? It's all trials and tribulations. It's just the Lord basically trying you, man. Because guess what? If you go through all that, the Lord can't keep can keep I ain't gonna say the Lord can't, but the Lord's not gonna have you keep going through that same thing because you already proved yourself to handle it. All right, so guess what? The Lord's gonna put you through something else. All right, hey, the same trials and tribulation that we went through back when we first came in the truth, we're not going through them. We're not going through the same things now. Some brothers might be, but majority of us might not be, man. All right. Like for example, I have one. When I first came to the truth, it was a winter. It was around the winter time, and the camera stand. I was a cameraman for like a good 4 or 5 years before I started teaching. But the camera stand had broke, where I had to hold the camera with my bare hand for all that winter, and we didn't get another camera stand until like literally the spring. When the spring first broke, that's when we had a new camera stand. That's when the camp leader came and yeah, we got a new camera stand. You know, so and my hands was cold, man. I had to sometimes switch hands if I'm holding the camera. If I'm holding the camera like this, I have to, and this is where the strap is holding my camera. Sometimes I have to take my camera out. I mean, take my hand out and hold it like this or hold it like this because my hands would be so cold. I had to warm my hands up, you know. So that was I look at that as a trial and tribulation. The Lord was gonna see, you know, oh, wait, you're gonna come to camp because he got to hold that camera with his bare hands, and I couldn't wear a glove on it because the band was so thick. I couldn't fit a glove through my hand, you know. And the camp leader told me I had to put the band around it because one time I think I dropped the camera or something. It almost fell, and he just told me, hey, make sure you have that band around it that stops it from falling. But so I had to take my glove off and hold the camera, and then the camera itself would get cold. So it you know that I had to do that for a good maybe 4 months, you know. And this is back when we used to go out for maybe at least 3 hours and a half, maybe 4 hours, you know. Sometimes we stay out there even longer, you know. So we would be out there for a good minute, you know. And there wasn't no switching cameramans going back and forth. It wasn't really none of that. It was one cameraman and everybody else had their job, you know. So I had to do that from the beginning, the middle of November to all the way to April, you know. And this is when I lived near the lake in Gary. So you know, out there it get cold, and we used to go by the beach a lot. You know, we used to do in Miller, on Broadway. So we used to stay near the beach. And if you know anything about, you know, the brothers from Chicago, probably can understand. Any brother that lives near water, it's like maybe good 10-15 degrees colder when you're by water because you're getting that I think they call ocean chill or water. You're getting that water chill. You basically get it because the ocean also gets cold, and that's bringing it even more, and it's making the temperature drop even more. So you're getting that cold chill too, you know. So I could easily just like, man, 2 months. Oh man, this ain't for me, man. I'm always holding the camera, my hands get cold. But I always thought like the number one thing I always thought is I'm doing this for the Lord, man. All right. Who cares that I'm getting cold, man? Who cares? Oh well. That's the way I look at it, man. If it's for the Lord, He created who I am. If it wasn't for Him, I wouldn't be here, man. All right. So what's a little cold have to do with it, man? All right. And it's crazy because I never went through that again. I never that first year of me holding that camera, when it was getting cold, I've never experienced that cold never again. Yeah, maybe like on my feet, and you know, a little cold on my feet. Usually the cold don't really bother me unless it's my feet and my hands. Really, my body be basically straight, you know, but. Them colder, I mean, I would probably go up at home and put my hand up on the fire, you know, to get some feeling into it. Beat my hands on something just to get some feeling into it, you know. Sometimes I actually have to, you know, pull my dad to the side. Like, Dad, I think I got frostbite in my hands. I can't feel them at all. Like I can't. Yeah, I would pinch them, stab. I couldn't feel them, you know. So, but I mean, hey, it didn't deter me. I didn't miss not one. I didn't even miss one camp in that whole entire 4 or 5 months. You know, I went faithfully every single week for 4 to 5 hours. You know, but just to show you, the Lord will bring you from that, man. Now, ever since then, I did hold the camera again winters, but it wasn't that bad. You know, we already has camera stands. You know, I grew up a little more years, so I got my hands became more thicker and thicker. I got used to it, but basically I grew from it. Okay, so I mean, this basically was just a sit down and just to show you, hey, you know, you're gonna grow. You know, you're gonna grow. You know, now the Lord's not gonna keep you at one place all your whole entire life, man. The Lord's gonna push you through something more because your body's gonna get used to it. You're gonna be, oh, I'm used to it. So like certain things, more so brothers might be used to something. Like when I first met the brother Montazal, this brother was working 6 days a week, and I'm looking at it like, man, 5 days a week is terrible. And, you know, at first I thought the brother was in Niskright. I'm like, man, brother, you gotta be in Niskright, man. 6 days a week is tough. You know, he just looked at it like, it ain't really that bad, bro. You know, this is cool, man. Listen, as long as I get that 1 day off of camp, I'm straight. And I'm like, man, bro, 6 days, that's crazy. It's like you get 1 day off from camp, and then boom, you gotta go right back to work for another 6 days. You know, yeah. But it was cool to him, you know. And I experienced it. It wasn't really, bad. But back then, when I was just started working, I think it was crucial. So certain things to brothers might not be as bad to some brothers to others. Some brothers might be like, bro, you got to do that. How many times? And you be like, bro, I only got to do it 5 days out of the day. And you be like, damn, bro, that's, but it might not be nothing to that brother. Just like this truth. Some things brothers might look at, my brothers might look a little harder. You be like, dang, bro, you have to pay $150 a day? You have to work how many hours? And you be like, yeah, bro, I have to work maybe like 12 hours. Like my job. Certain brothers be like, man, we got to work 12 hours, shit, But, I look at it like, it's just 12 hours, You get home, go to sleep, wake up, get an hour or two, and then you right back to work. Like me, I'm finna leave out in about another hour, and I just woke up like maybe an hour ago, so I only had like a good maybe 2-3 hours to myself. But, hey, so I didn't want to make this too long, I just wanted to say, hey man, brothers, be muscle fibers, man. Grow, learn from your mistakes. All right, be a better brother tomorrow. All right, don't revert backwards. Don't start walking backwards, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get that. You have to walk forward, man. We can't if we keep walking backwards, we're going the wrong way. We already walked backwards. For me personally, I walked backwards 13, 14 years of my life, man. All right? I want to start working forward now. Okay? We all have walked backwards. For how many years? If it's 20, 30, 15, 16, 17, how many ever years you start walking backwards, you're supposed to turn around and start walking forward again. All right? This is Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 21. It says, and thy ear shall hear a word behind thee, saying, this is the way, walk ye in it. So if you're hearing a word behind you, that means you're going the wrong way. If I'm saying, hey, my man, and you're facing the opposite way, that means you have to turn around and walk towards that person, And it says, this is the way, walk ye in it. So he's actually turning you around, doing a 180, and telling you to walk this way, man. That means you was walking the wrong way at first, It says, when ye turn the right way, and when you turn to the left. See? So you're going to hear a word, and that word is this word of Yahweh Bashem Yashai. Whoever man you hear it from, whether it's be on a video, whether you actually hear it in the outside on the highways and byways, whether somebody tell you and you go look up for yourself. However you hear the word, man, that's the Lord calling you back because you're His sheep. All right, you were calling, So guess what? You have to start walking the right way, man. You want to get in this truth, start walking right for so long, and then just turn around because the scripture says what? Get this. I think I spelled that right. I did it. Of course. I think I spelled that wrong too. I did. I'm just getting my phone. So like this app on my phone, if you don't know how to spell a word right, it'll give you suggestions. This is Proverbs 21 verse 16. It says, the man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. See? So if you wandering out, if you walking straight and you just start getting dizzy and you start going out, start swerving, and now you going left instead of straight, then guess what, man? You're gonna remain in the congregation of the dead, man. And it's gonna be a strong demon the Lord's gonna put upon you, man. All right. Ask the brothers that fell out and came back in, man. Lord, Lord will put a strong demon on you, man. And you have to really prove to the Lord you want to come back. And it's through the mercy the Lord will actually bring you back into this thing, man. All right. But hey, walk straight, be the muscle fibers, man. Grow, learn from your mistakes, man, and keep moving forward. You know, with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahshua, Bashem Kakodash, that belongs to the elders.